A good place to start is probably with a bit of a Search 101. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because this really could take up the whole session, the whole day, but just the basics. So hopefully you'll all be familiar with this page, the search page. In fact, if you're anything like the average internet user, you'll see this around 3 times a day. Highlighted in orange here, we have the natural search listings or organic search listings. And these are determined by the Google algorithm, which uses about 200 signals to rank websites on this page. What we're going to do in this section is we're going to answer some key questions that underlie any successful search strategy. So we're going to think about which searches might lead to the content themes that we've identified in the previous exercise. Then we're going to think about whether we have the right to win in this space. Are we more relevant to this particular theme than our competitors? Are consumers actually interested in these themes? And should our search activity be always on? So should this activity run throughout the year, or are there certain times of year that it should be upweighted or switched off? Okay, so which searches might lead to this content? So really, we'll start with a brainstorm. We'll think about we'll put ourselves in our consumer shoes and think about what searches they might be making. At this point, it makes sense to sort of position search within our 3 pillars of digital marketing. So we had site, we had search, and we had syndication. Our search is a key way that you can pull consumers to your content. You can meet them at the point of their need, present them with a relevant search ad, and pull them through to the relevant content on your site or anywhere else on the web. It doesn't have to be your site. And although we started by thinking about the site and the content themes, consumers actually start with a search. So 81% of consumers will enter a website via a search engine. So that just demonstrates just how powerful search is as a pull strategy. The next question is, do we have the right to win in this space? So when we brainstormed the brand territory, we kind of thought that this was a theme that was relevant to our brand. But is it more relevant than to other brands? And the way that we're going to do this is very simple. This is one of the most quickest and effective ways to look at what our competition are doing. We'll Google our keywords, we'll see who's in paid search, who's in natural, go through, have a look at their website, have a look at their content, assess their content and think, could ours actually be as good as theirs? Are consumers actually interested? So one way to measure consumer interest is through search query volumes. And we're just going to wake you up a little bit with a consumer interest or a query volume quiz. So how many searches do you think were made in the UK last month, in the month of December, for these list of keywords around hair care? 1.2 million. What's that based on, David?
Because it was Christmas and women
tend to look for hair care tips, party season. So 1.2, that's quite a high volume, you think, that would demonstrate sort of considerable consumer interest. Yeah? Any more? Any more for any more? We're going to go with 1.2 million? 50,000. Okay. 2.5 million searches for those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 top performing keywords. How about perfumes and fragrance? Do we care more about our smell or our hair? Festive season, give 5 million. 5 million. 4.8 million. Very good. You've done this before, haven't you? Okay. Coughs and colds. Yeah, lots of sneezing. Maybe all a bit run down. Party season. 10 million. Okay. 5.8 million. Baby care. Do we care more about ourselves or our babies? Yeah. There's actually a pattern here. Okay, 6.4 million. No surprise. I mean, you know, baby care is a theme that people are looking for information quite regularly. Healthy eating and nutrition. Now, remember, this was December. So, yeah, this was the month of December. So 12 million. So even in December, which isn't particularly a high seasonal month for dieting, the healthy eating and nutrition areas is very popular with consumers. So really, that was just a bit of fun. But what we've effectively done, or what we've kind of exemplified here, is how through using query volumes, you're able to quantify consumer interest around a certain theme or area. And we did this using a tool called the Keyword Volume tool. And we're going to ask you to play around with this tool in order to quantify consumer interest around the themes that you identified. And you find the tool just by searching on Google for Google Keyword Tool. But Trisha, Bernardo, Eleanor and I will come around and help you find the tool and get started with it. And the final thing we're going to think about is, should this activity always be on? Okay? And there are two main things you need to think about on this area. Consumer interest. Is there always consumer interest around this area, or is it particularly seasonal? And therefore, are there certain times of the year that we want to up our search activity and make sure we're capturing this interest? So healthy eating might be one of these, Christmas might be another, I don't know, bikini bodies or something for summer. The other thing that we think about is this area always relevant to my brand? Is this core to my brand's theme? Do I always want to make sure that when consumers are searching in this area that I am there, meeting them, presenting them with my brand and my solution? Or is it attached to a specific campaign or tactical activity? So again, the example for Flora, they always want to be there when people are searching on cholesterol and healthy hearts. This is an ongoing consumer interest or consumer need. But in the summer months, they run a competition around cooking. So at this time, they want to be covering off cooking keywords. Cool, okay. Time to work. We've got 30 minutes. We'll start by brainstorming keywords, but the keyword volume tool is actually useful for identifying potential keywords as well, because it not only tells you volume, but it also will throw up relevant and related keywords. So we'll get online with the keyword tool, and I'm going to leave up an example here of the one we prepared earlier for Pampers.